Clearly, in order to work out the float times for the setting up camp activity, we'll have to briefly go through how we find the critical path, the overall completion time for the project. By definition, our start point is 0, 0 for both. 15, with a map there, competition between 5 and 15, 15 and 25. That wins out or loses 40. Down this bottom arc, 5. That then has to be 30. And then 40 and 25 giving us 65. So our critical path, going along that top arc. Going through and just completing the other times, the latest finishing times. By definition, anything along the critical path has the same latest finishing time for the previous activity as the earliest start time for the following one. So I'll just fill in those bottom timekeeping boxes. Backtracking here, reverse path analysis, reverse scanning if you like. 45 is to go here. 45, 25 gives me 20. Arcing up here, well, at this box we've got a bit of a choice. 40 take 15 is 25, but 20 take 0 is 20. So we now have all the earliest start times and the latest finishing times. I'll quickly enter those boxes and then work through how we can calculate the float times. So you'll notice the earliest start times I've listed here are from the top of the timekeeping boxes. So just completing that, obviously A, B and C will start or can start concurrently. With D is reliant on A being completed, so we have that 15-minute start. And quickly just listing them for G, H and I. Now the latest finishing time, I read from the top of the timekeeping box for A to the bottom of the next one. So 0, finishing at 15, my latest finishing time. Now for activity B, that starts at 0 and runs to 20. And just panning that through for the other, 0, finishing at 20 for C. For D, 15 finishing at 40, and so on. Now, by definition, any of the activities on the critical pathway will have a 0 float time because we start at 0 for A, finish at 15, the activity takes 15. So by definition, anything on the critical path has a float time of 0. So I can quickly put that in for A, D and F. For the others, I've got a bit of a calculation. Unpacking the car, well, that can take 20, take the 5 from 0, which is 15 minutes of float time. For C, we'll end up at 20, started at 0, and obviously the activity takes 3 minutes itself, 17. Preparing the food, or E, what I've got there, that can finish as late as 40 minutes. The activity itself takes 15. Earliest start time is 5, so end up with a float time of 20. Tables and chairs G, that can finish as late as 65. The activity itself takes 10. It can start, earliest start time is 5. So I've got a fair bit of float time. Some books call that slack time. So in other words, if I was needing assistance, perhaps that person, the tables and chairs, could assist elsewhere at the same time. Erecting the tent, or H, well, that can finish as late as 45. takes 25 minutes to complete, earliest start time is 5, and that will give us a total of 15 minutes. The bedding in the tent, 65 is the latest finishing time. It takes 20 minutes to complete, can start as late as 30, and we also get a float time of 15. Now please take some time to work this through. The key points, find the critical path. Enter the earliest start times as you go, obviously. Latest finishing times, by definition, the same. Then we reverse the process and scan backwards in order to calculate the latest finishing times.